we've already like talked about like smoking, not smoking specifically, but alcohol. But I wanted to talk about it with a medical professional to get the medical aspect of like, smoking and like, recreational drugs and all of that. The people watching our podcast are predominantly Christian. In our Indian culture, there is already a stigma that smoking is bad. Like you can't do it. Like if someone sees someone smoking, they're gonna like tell on them to their parents and stuff, and they're gonna make it like a whole thing. Is it as bad as people make it out to be, or are we just overreacting?
For a person, there are pillars, like one is your education, second one is your career, third one is whom you are gonna marry and what kind of life you are going to live. So if one gets affected, each and everything gets affected.
Okay.
So smoking is one thing which will affect any one of those.
Is there any good argument that a person can make for smoking? Any good argument?
There are few good arguments. It's like
the argument that people usually make for like smoking and stuff is like it's a stress buster. Like I just want to like, chill for a while. I've had a long day of work, and I just want to, relax for a little bit, and that's why I smoke and stuff. But like you mentioned, it has like mental side effects, and it can have a huge impact on our personal life and our professional life. Talk about that like for a second. Like how does that correlate, like smoking correlates to like our professional and personal life?
The problem is that nowadays, whether you consider as doctors as a profession, or even engineers, or even lawyers, or any other profession, you're bound to work very hard.
Okay.
So the work-life balance is not much, especially in metro cities and all. You've seen that they'll leave the home early at 6:37 sometimes and come back by 7-8 o'clock. So it's a lot of work. Yeah, a lot of work, and it's very stressful, and they have to come back and they have to cook as well. It's not so easy, and they'll definitely feel depressed about it. So since it causes release of dopamine, so they'll feel like smoking would take off the edge, a little bit.
It's like relax for
exactly, relax for a while. But although it is considerable, that's not the way to go. And we are at a position where we can't endorse that as well, because it causes a lot of harm to your body. It's like
the trade-offs are not worth.
Yeah, in the long run, no, it's not. Maybe for a day or two. Absolutely. But no one stops for just 1 or 2 cigarettes. It keeps on increasing over the months and over the years.
Okay.
So we would suggest to refrain from such things as well. Or instead go for a walk.
Okay.
Evening walks, night walks. Or hit the gym. Or have a good diet, or do something. Spend time with your children.
There's a lot of things that you can do to like relax. And
even those things can cause release of dopamine. Not just cigarettes, which is actually, of course, an artificial means to getting that satisfaction in life.
Does our focus and like a concentration also take an impact?
It definitely does. Definitely. There are a lot of studies as well, which have actually proven that although you're having a very good IQ, you'll not be able to concentrate.
Wow.
And you'll not be able to analyze things.
So you'll actually get
You'll get blunted. Yes, absolutely. You'll get blunted.
If you are someone like me who speaks Tamil but doesn't read Tamil, but you always wanted to read the Bible in Tamil, then the Tanglish Bible is absolutely for you. The Tanglish Bible is a Romanized version of the Bible, meaning the Bible is still in Tamil but it's written in English, so hence the name Tanglish Bible. This is really great when you're reading through the Bible in English or any other language for that reason, and are struggling to understand the meaning of a passage because you don't speak that language. Now you don't have to worry about that if you have the Tanglish Bible. So if you want to grab one, check out the link in the description and use code PM10 at checkout for 10% off. That is PM10 for 10% off at checkout. Now back to the video.
Your professional life is also
for a person. There are like pillars, like one is your education, second one is your career, third one is whom you are gonna marry and what kind of life you're going to live. So if one gets affected, each and everything gets affected.
Okay.
So smoking is one thing which will affect any one of those.
Okay.
So if one gets affected, then
all
definitely, it's a vicious cycle. So everything goes down with it. And you'll not be in a position to even think and analyze it at the time, because it goes down in a slower way. You'll not be able to understand what has actually happened. And by the time when you look back, you would have already changed a lot of your stuff.
okay, you mentioned like usually people like tell themselves that they're only gonna do it for like a day, only gonna have one for a day, but they don't stop.
Yeah.
So then the conversation would be like, okay, if I just do it occasionally, let's say a person has like incredible self-control, he has like incredible willpower, and if he wants to stop at one cigarette or like one cigar, like he can, and he's making that argument, I just smoke occasionally. Is that also like bad? Like, is that also like as bad as you like just described at the start of the episode?
Okay.
Or if it is like a recurring thing, if they're addicted to like smoking, is it bad only then?
There are two ways to go with it.
Okay.
One is the practical way, one is the theoretical way.
Okay.
I'll start with the practical way. So practically, see, there are millions of people in the world, right? Not everybody is having such incredible control. Incredible as in he should be very much in control of it.
Yeah.
So for people like that, if they're able to recognize that they're very much in control, then definitely.
Okay.
A lot of people start smoking at a younger age. I'm talking about the newer generations.
Yeah.
Not because of peer pressure, but because of the surrounding. Like people are doing, so I need to do it.
Yeah.
People are drinking alcohol, so I need to drink alcohol. That's how they start. Out of those millions of people, there will be around 5%.
Okay.
So only 5% are able to control. Well and good. If you are very, very occasional with it, it's just like alcohol. It's harmful, but occasional wouldn't mean it'll harm much.
Okay.
So yes, you can go ahead with it. Well and good. But what about the rest? The rest of the society? If you just take about the rest 95%, that down 30% would be very horrible. They'll be chain smokers. They'll be dependent on it. They'll destroy their life. And that goes into several millions. So with keeping that in mind, whenever we are like preaching something or anything like that, we'll definitely say that it's better to avoid. So you'll have that risk when you're not able to prevent it. You'll have that risk when you smoke one or two occasionally. There'll come a time in your life when you're down. So when you're going to some rough patches or something through that, you'll definitely
have all the willpower.
Absolutely. You'll just increase the number of cigarettes per day. That'll definitely happen. Now, if you're not a smoker at all, that'll not be the case. Is what we find.
So you would suggest against even like occasionally smoking, just because like there are chances that you can like, get into like really worse conditions.
There's no one particular answer. In a practical way, yes, if you're able to control. If not, absolutely. In a clear way, I would say the message is not to smoke at all.
Find other ways to like amuse yourself.
Find something. There are a lot of things to do. Find something interesting, healthy, which is not injurious to health.
Like even in the cigar packets and in the stuff that the packaging itself, it says like it is injurious and harmful to, your health and stuff. But despite that, people still, like gravitate towards it.
One thing is that people are not really bothered by that. Second thing, it's mandatory. The state government has made it mandatory to post that, and it should be of this size. That's how they show it. On the packs also, it's very compulsory to put it. And you've seen that even in theaters and all, they're made aware of it. And
before like a scene comes on where the person is smoking, they put a disclaimer.
It's a mandatory, but still, people will do what they want to do, right? So that's there.
Okay. Is there any good argument that a person can make for smoking? Any good argument?
There are a few good arguments. It's like, what are the risks and what are the benefits? So there's a condition called ulcerative colitis. So for that, it's protective.
What is that like exactly?
It's an autoimmune disease of the gut, of the intestines. So for that, it's protective. There are a few other very, very rare diseases for which it is protective. So it's like you have saved some 5%, but 95% you're in loss. So for this protective factor, the risk that it gives is much more than what it can protect on. So there are not quite many good things to even defend that why we can or we should pursue smoking.
The condition that you mentioned, what was that name again?
Ulcerative colitis.
Ulcerative colitis. It is already, let's say it is already killing the person at like 90 miles per hour. And this is just gonna like help it slow down to like
No. It won't reverse or treat the condition.
It'll just...
So if the person is prone to developing it, it'll suppress a little bit.
It's just like a protective cover.
Like a protective cover.
But it won't cure it also.
Won't cure it. No. It's not the treatment. It won't cure it, nor will it bring back the damage which has already been done. It'll only just protect the disease if you're supposed to.
So there is like no good argument a person can make for like smoking.
Arguably, no.
Yeah. Okay. That is that is probably news to someone who's watching. Yeah. Okay.